3 days before Germany goes to polls, latest polls have predicted Angela Merkel's Conservatives are maintaining a strong lead over other rival Social Democrats. German Chancellor Angela Merkel looks almost certain to clinch a fourth term in the general election, while Merkel's ratings have remained unchanged at 36%. Her rivals' ratings have dropped by 1.5%. The polls also said that the anti-immigrant alternative is expected to become the first far-right party in parliament in more than half a century. It is looking set to come third with 11% votes. In a theoretical direct vote for Chancellor, Merkel would win 56%, while her SPD challenger, Martin Schulz, would score 32%. And it's the big election in the biggest European country, and the world will be closely watching. Germany goes to polls every 4 years and will be electing its new parliament, and in all likelihood, its existing Chancellor Angela Merkel back to the helm for a record fourth term. But who are the other candidates vying for Berlin's top job? WION senior foreign editor Padma Rao introduces us to the hopefuls.
It'll be a coalition, that's for sure. And with the kind of black tower Chancellor Angela Merkel's CDU-CSU ruling combined can boast of on this graphic, it's near certain that the charismatic Iron Lady of Germany will be sworn in Chancellor for a record fourth term. But who are the other candidates vying for the position? Let's take a look. Chancellor Angela Merkel's Christian Democratic Union CDU is represented in all states or Länder of Germany except one. It rules Germany in a combine with its cousin party, the Christian Social Union, which is present only in the southern Free State of Bavaria. And the parties are in a grand coalition with their big rival, the Social Democrat Party, at the centre. Consequently, the CDU-CSU Union, as it is referred to, has two candidates for Chancellor, Angela Merkel of the CDU and Joachim Herrmann of the CSU. The SPD's candidate for Chancellor is Martin Schulz. The 62-year-old bookseller joined the Social Democrats at the age of 19. After triumphing over alcoholism, he put in a stint as a mayor and was later elected to the European Parliament, where he first represented the SPD for 8 years and stayed on for another 5 as the president of the EP. Martin Schulz speaks 5 European languages and is an avowed supporter of the European Union. Christian Lindner, he's the young hip face of a party that was ignominiously shunted out of parliament at the last election. The Free Democrats, and with a catchy new campaign and a candidate to match, the FDP is not only expected to make the 5% hurdle this time, but may even find itself in a coalition with Chancellor Merkel's CDU. Lindner is 38 and a graduate of political science who more than knows how to work the media. He's married to the deputy editor-in-chief of Europe's largest daily. The Greens of both erstwhile East and West Germany come together in this coalition. In environment-conscious Germany, the party will make it into parliament but will remain, for a lack of enterprise and new ideas, at the bottom of the heap. And like with other twin groups, there are two aspirants for the Chancellor's post. There's Katrin Göring-Eckardt, a theologist, and there's Cem Özdemir, a teacher of Turkish origin who joined the Greens at 16 and became a German citizen at age 18. Theirs will be the most controversial debut of all, but enter the parliament they will, beating all smaller parties, some say even the FDP. Right-wing Alternative für Deutschland, Alternative for Germany, will be fielding 77-year-old lawyer Alexander Gauland and the young and outspoken Alice Weidel. It is no coincidence that both right-wingers are from former East Germany, where a distrust of foreigners, specifically Muslims, runs high and where the AfD enjoys its strongest support base. And finally, the left. The German economy is on the upswing. Exports are booming. Unemployment is down. There are other problems, of course, but surveys still show that Germany seems in no mood for socialism right now. The twin outfit comprising of former East and West German leftists are expected to make it to parliament, but will languish right at the bottom. Their candidates are former social scientist Dietmar Bartsch and the erudite graduate of literature Sarah Wagenknecht. Padma Rao, WION.
And to talk more about this, we are on senior foreign editor Padma Rao. She's joining me live from the newsroom. Padma, thanks so much for joining us. Now, if we were to go by the polls, in all likelihood, all of them mostly suggest that Merkel's open door to the refugees has worked politically for her, gained liberal support, as well as managed to, corner her main political opponent, which is the SDP.
Well, I would say that more than the fact that she had this open door policy, which has admitted 1.5 million refugees to date into Germany from Syria and from Northern Africa, I think, Sana, that it was more the fact that the German economy is on an even keel again. In fact, it's booming, export markets are booming, and unemployment is at a record low. I think those are the indicators which, would make German voters tend to feel they'd rather not rock the boat by voting something new. However, one thing seems almost certain, that it will be a coalition, and the second thing that is certain is that it may not be the old coalition which is ruled up to now, because there was far too much, it was a mismatch in many ways, that is the Social Democrats and Chancellor Merkel's CDU-CSU union. So it's likely to be a coalition between Chancellor Merkel at any rate and the FDP, the Free Liberals. But that will be an interesting combination to watch, because many of their policies are diametrically opposite to those of Chancellor Merkel.
Right. Also, Padma, give us some sense into what the election would mean for the European Union, because a lot is being talked about how the EU could be, could be impacted after the results are announced.
Well, some countries that needed a bailout after the Euro crisis, they are looking at the results of these elections with particular trepidation, because should the FDP, as I said, which is the Free Liberal party, enter, it will certainly enter the parliament. But if it emerges the third largest party, or even the second largest by some chance, then its policies are likely to be very different from those that prevailed up to now under a CDU and SPD coalition, particularly vis-à-vis other countries in Europe, and particularly vis-à-vis the euro. And also, as I said, German exports are booming. So this will, obviously also have implications for the rest of Europe.
All right, Padma Rao, thanks so much for joining us with more on that story. We'll, of course, be keeping a very close eye and getting you detailed coverage on the German elections later as well.